For my young arts application in theater, I'll be doing violin.
For my application to young arts,
any chance you get to open yourself up to new ideas, take it.
We love that riff. Yeah, so keep that.
Go with the goosebump test. It's gonna get great eventually.
Groban has so many accomplishments. I mean, he's sold 25 million records, 2 Grammy nominations, he's been on every single TV show. He's done so much considering how young he is.
There's something about his voice, it's just like listening to an angel. There's so much feeling in what he's singing. His voice has the power to move people, which is rare.
People try to pigeonhole him by saying that he's a pop classical singer, that he's a jazz singer, that he's just straight up classical operatic singer. But what makes him something really special is that he does all of these things incredibly well. It's really something very unique and it's very cool.
Hey guys, how are you? I'm Josh.
We had been talking right before he came over to lunch, like, what do you think we're gonna do? What is Josh gonna have us do?
We were kind of sitting there trying to figure out what it could be, like what we all had in common.
Okay, well, we've all done musical theater and we're all vocalists and we all play secondary instruments.
This is really fun for me to meet you guys and to, you know, to kind of understand what your quirks are musically and creatively. You guys have nuances that are a little bit unique, which is cool. Sometimes
It was a daunting task for me to think about doing this kind of a masterclass because I still feel like I'm very much a student and I still have so much to learn that I thought, okay, what's something that I could really bring to the table? What's an experience that I could give to some young artists that would be unique and something that they could really take from and draw from?
And I've got a really kind of interesting project that we're all going to kind of embark on together in the next few days. I'll never forget my first time writing a song and going through the terrifying process of taking that song into a really professional recorded studio environment and making sure that it was representative of the inspiration that I had in my head. So I want you guys to write a song. I want you guys to write a song and I want you guys to record a song. We've got studio space. We've got some of my favorite musicians and your job is to get in there and to really craft something special. So it's going to be an interesting, very hair-raising, exciting few days. So when you're getting into that process, whether you're recording a whole album or just a song, you've dug a huge hole for yourself. And the only option is to get out of the hole. How do you get out of the hole and plant a really nice flower in the dirt, you know?
And they all like to write separately, lock themselves in a dark room at 3 in the morning and just kind of, you know, do very kind of journal entry kind of writing. And I wanted to give them the collaborative process. That's how I learned a lot, is from working with other writers.
And I know you don't like to write with people.
No, I like writing myself too.
So, because the idea of sharing your ideas in real time with other people musically, if you don't feel like they're quite polished yet, is that a nerve-wracking thing?
I think it's more just the baby complex.
I think it's about finding all of your baby's separate strengths
And
putting your babies together to make one super baby.
Yes.
You
All 3 of them, no doubt, in their career will choose great material, be great interpreters of great music. But one of the things I wanted to bring to the table was, how do you allow the song to be, you know, to come from you rather than just be presented by you as a vocalist?
It's shedding a beautiful light on the most ordinary things that get us out of bed every morning,
Right.
you know? And I think that's when songwriting is at its best. It's all about finding that common musical sentence that brings the 3 of you together, you know? In all
we were shocked, excited, scared. We didn't know how each other worked. We didn't know what the instrumentation was going to be, what the song was going to be about, where to start.
Do you guys want to think of start? It was also terrifying to work with this time restriction, and like we had to write, like we were being put in a position where we had no option, like we had to write this, but we couldn't think of anything.
Yeah.
That's not right.
Sometimes when it comes to art, you just feel naked out there, and you feel like you're just going to make a fool of yourself if you try. And so that push is good. That push into the fire is good, and I wanted to kind of give them that platform to say, okay, you know what, vulnerability is a good thing. Get out there and fly.
What vibe do we want, you guys?
Something real happy like? Alright.
I don't like happy. You want to start fresh? Yeah, why not? Let's do it.
This chord progression stands by its own.
I think we come up with a much better melody.
Maybe something about an avalanche.
No, it's dumb.
Yeah.
It's horrible. We'll come up with something 10 times as good.
I was saying, like, what did you say those were again? E flat major 7.
Yeah, E flat major
E flat
7.
major 7.
Something fades.
Oh, yes!
Right?
What do you guys think?
I love it.
We're getting somewhere. Okay.
Yeah, this is.
We finally felt like we had something, but we were also kind of terrified, because what if he hated it?
Hi.
Come on in.
Oh.
Take a seat. Take
Yeah.
the load off. So tell me, how did you guys get started?
We played with some ideas, and then we started with a chord progression that we all felt was interesting, and
Do you want to play? Do you want to play a little bit of what you came up with?
Yeah.
Should we keep talking about it, or?
Yeah. Morning rise, I wipe away the memories from my eyes. Another day passes slowly as I watch it sail away, away from me.
When I first heard the song, I was relieved. Externally, I'm going, good. Yeah, really good, guys. Internally, I'm going, you did it.
We messed up the end.
Wow. In my mind, I hear an A+ verse. I hear an amazing intro. I even hear an incredible pre-chorus. I think what I'd like to ask now is, where's the chorus?
Yeah, you guys.
our chorus, we all kind of forgot it.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Then you know what? And then I would say that you need a chorus.
They did it in an order that was actually kind of out of order from what I'm used to. Usually, you write the chorus first. You have a hook that you can't get out of your head. It becomes like an earworm. It's the most important part, but they were completely lacking it.
The chorus can be that hook. It can be that place where you can be you can be totally unafraid and unashamed to go for a little bit of a grander message there. So take me back to your verse, and at the end of your verse, just stop for a minute and listen in your head to where you really think, if you were going to climb to a chorus there, in your head, what does that sound like to you?
So
That takes my focus away a little bit. I feel like the magic's broken as soon as that happens. It's a different magic. It's a good chord,
Right.
but I feel like this little kind of spell that you've cast in that first part of the song, for some reason, that breaks it for me. Let me sit next to you here. Whatever,
okay.
something to give it a breath. But so if it's
started writing, my biggest mistake was that I wanted to overcomplicate things. And in each of them, I could see in them a spirit for the very same thing. Keep it simple there, because it doesn't have to be super complicated in its chord structure. It just needs to be memorable. Sometimes when I think to myself, because I make this mistake too, where sometimes I want to be so damn clever. And then it's always when I use 2 fingers. Or when I say to myself, I'm just going to fill some space here until I come up with something. That's the thing that I always walk away humming. So it's about closing your eyes in that silence and hearing in your head, what do I want to hear? Pay attention to that silence when you go, okay, I've got this is perfect, this is great, this is great, this is great. What do I want to hear? You know, and then find a way to get it out. You know, I'd say that now, you guys, just write a hook. You gotta write that thing. It's easier said than done, and I want to let you guys do it. They just hit a wall, and I've learned in the past that when your brain is just saying I'm done, you gotta white flag it and just say I'm done for the day. And so I gave them my piano because they didn't have one, and I think the responsibility kind of hit them of we got to make this come to fruition now.
We were pretty bummed when we left Josh's apartment because we were really stuck and we didn't have a lot of time left. And we had to come up with a chorus, which is the most important part. So that was a little like, oh.
It was incredible to be able to walk into Avatar Studios. Like, it is one of the most legendary recording studios of history.
You know, you come into the reception room and you see all the CDs of all the people that have played here. And it's really inspiring because you're somewhere where real incredible music has been made.
So how did it go? Did you guys finish up?
Yeah.
Was it like a lightning bolt? Did one of you say, hey, I've got an idea, and the rest of you kind of chimed in?
It was like an energy. We all we sat down on the floor.
And it was one of those things where you kind of all looked at each other and said, like, this is right.
Right.
Amazing. So welcome to Avatar Studios. Many of my most favorite duets I've actually recorded in this very room. It's got a magic energy, and I'm so thrilled and honored to have some amazing musicians here that I'd like to...
I was able to introduce them to some of my favorite musicians that I've ever worked with. Tarika Coney, who's toured with me through hundreds of shows. Bahiti Kumalo, somebody who has played on Rhythm of the Saints, Graceland. Russell Sirota, Grammy Award winner and mad genius on the keys. Sean Pelton, he's been the drummer on SNL for as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
These guys are oftentimes the unsung heroes of the recording business because they're making us all look good.
Well, why don't we see where we're at?
Okay.
Let's hear this thing.
Yeah.
Morning rise, I wipe away the memory. It was a little nerve-wracking at first. All the musicians were there, figuring out their parts and figuring out the chord changes. But then we started seeing some heads bob and the musicians. I was like, okay, that's a good sign. And then we started singing the chorus.
Fade away, goodbye to yesterday. Here and now.
That is gorgeous, you guys. Look, turn around. That is a great, great, great hook. It's simple. It's not trying to be, it's not trying to be super overly clever. It's trying to be memorable and universal. And what you guys have accomplished with it, which is actually really, really difficult to do, is you've kept a little bit of a melancholy feel to it, but still, still kept it hopeful, still kept it positive. And life is that way. There's ups and downs, there's peaks and valleys. I think now the key is the performance.
Check.